Good morning. I'm back. It's been probably a couple of weeks since I've made a video. What's been happening? Well, kids went back to school, which is good. I had my birthday. Good, I guess. I had the flu, not so good. Pretty nasty, but got over it. Things here have been moving rather slowly, but now they're pretty much finished with the big jobs. I have the painter inside. More on that later. The garden, I've been getting along slowly. I've got all 4 beds dug out. I'm working on the paths. I also got a chainsaw and a weed whacker, so I've managed to clear out that edge more. And in between these trees I've got blackberry bushes planted. They seem to be doing okay so far. Today I'm going to try and work more on this path, although I don't have a lot of cardboard. Let's see, because I'm doing cardboard and then shade cloth and then rocks to hold it down. And I should start, I have water here, but this is not completely fixed up yet, but I can start filling in the trenches where I've dug out to run the pipes. And like these beds I've made so long ago, I've got to weed them before I can plant. As soon as I can get that water running properly, like with a hose attached, I can start sowing here, which I'm eager to do. This is all stuff that I've pulled out of the beds or cut off of the border. These are going to be, I think I'm going to spread this out so it's going to squash down a bit more. Just keep plugging away. Olives are coming along. Some trees they're black already or going black. So keep an eye on these and start this year's olive harvest. I've been trying to figure out a way how to MacGyver an olive press, but no luck so far. I need to find an old millstone or something, but not easy. Not just laying around everywhere. Oh, it's been so long since I made these beds that they're getting covered in weeds, and I'm having to have to weed them again because hopefully I'm going to plant this soon. Keeps thinking soon. It keeps getting delayed. Anyway. Painting. It's a big house by non-USA standards, but it's not huge. It's not Buckingham Palace or anything. The main house is 4 bedrooms, kitchen, living room, TV room, dining room, 3 bathrooms, and a hallway. So it's, decent size, but not enormous. So we got our first painting estimate, and the guy said it's going to take 45 to 60 days. I was like, what? 45 to 60 days? And that's for the outside as well, which needs to be pressure washed and painted, which is probably the longer job. But I thought 45 to 60 days just seems crazy. I'm like, inside, being generous. It's a day to tape the house, like do all the edges and everything. What, say 3 days to paint the whole thing with rollers, and then a day to clean up. That's a week. I'm like, okay, double that, so that's 2 weeks, and then the same amount of time for the outside. Being very generous, it's a month, but they want 45 to 60 days. I'm like, it's not right. Let's get some other estimates. So we've got a couple of other estimates. Yep. 60 days, at least 2 months. I spoke to a couple of people here, like our general contractor, and they're like, yeah, painters here are just so slow. It's unbelievable. And then I looked up online, like for the US and England, I'm like, how long to paint a house? It's like 4 days, 5 days. And I talked to people in the US and I talked to people in the UK and who'd had their houses done, they're like, yeah, 4 days, 5 days. So how they managed to stretch it out here to 2 months, I've got no idea. However, they've started and it looks good. So the other thing was, one of the estimates we got, we didn't even get to how long it was going to take, because he wanted twice as much to paint the house as we're spending for all the rest of the renovations. We're just like, what are these people thinking? Did he hear my accent and think, oh, this is a cash cow? Or is someone paying these amounts? It's just craziness. Okay, this morning I've extended this path. I need scissors to cut more of this cloth. I'm just messing up trying to use my penknife. I've taken one of the plastic covers over there and swapped it for that long one, and taken the one that was over there that was square and used it to cover our new ride-on mower, which is in the garage. And I have weeded half of this bed in preparation for tomorrow. Dare a boy dream that I can plant some stuff. These are, for example, what I planted yesterday. They seem to be doing okay. I watered them in pretty well. They still look like they got some water there. So hopefully these blackberries are going to grow all along this, between all of these pine trees, fir trees, whatever they are. It's going to give us a nice barrier and a bit of a wind break and lots of yummy blackberries. When the canes get longer, I'll probably string a wire maybe a meter up these trees to give them some more support. Let's hope we get to that point. When I have more cardboard, I'm going to keep going. I have a little bit more, but probably not enough to go along this path. Here is the next path, and then I got to do a path all the way along here as well. I have this black walnut and this pecan tree to plant, but I got to decide where they're going. And I filled in the trench that goes from the house to this little building here, this outbuilding where the water is. I filled that in, and I filled like maybe a quarter or a third of the trench, how it comes along here to give me water here. Unfortunately, the easy bit, now the harder bit is done. Just keep doing a bit day by day. It's nice to warm up first thing in the morning.